Good afternoon. My name is Miguel Cardona, and I'm the tax clinic qualified expert. Today, I'm going to be talking about taxes, your rights and responsibilities. What are taxes? Taxes are fees that are charged by the government. There are direct taxes and indirect taxes. The direct ones are the ones that are charged on personal or corporate income. But today I'm going to be talking about personal income tax. There are also indirect taxes, like the ones that are charged on different goods and services. What income is reported on your tax return? These are examples of incomes that you have to report or include on your tax return. The first ones are wages and salaries. That's typically the income that is reported on a W-2 form when you work for an employer. You also have to report interest from your savings or checking account. When you have a bank account, usually a savings account, the bank sometimes pays you interest. That interest amount has to be reported on your return, and the bank should send you a form with the amount of interest that they paid you during the year. Alimony received. Alimony is something that may have to be included on your return. Business or self-employment income. When you get paid on a 1099 form, or you just have a business where you receive cash money, you have to include that on your return. It is very important because when you either receive cash or you get paid on a 1099 form, there is no withholding. There are no taxes withheld, and you have to report the income so that the taxes can be calculated and you can pay to the IRS. You also have to report IRA, pensions, and annuities. These are plans usually designed for retirement. That money is reported on your return when you take it out of the account. Also, you have to include unemployment compensation. So if you receive unemployment, that income has to be reported on your return. Social Security benefits may also be taxable and may have to be included on a return. Also, gambling winnings. It is important that if you receive gambling winnings, you report it on your return. What income is generally non-taxable? Workers' compensation benefits. If you get injured at work and you receive workers' compensation, generally you do not have to include that as income. Child support that you receive does not have to be reported as income either. There are instances in which alimony does not have to be reported either. Some scholarships do not have to be included on the return, although under some circumstances, you may have to include the scholarship amount that you receive. Compensatory damages. These are usually lawsuits. They have to be included on your return. They do not have to be included on your return, usually because they are damages for personal injury. Tax-exempt interest. There are interests that do not have to be included on your return. Usually, when you receive a form from a financial institution, it'll show if the amount is taxable or not. Reimbursed employee expenses are generally not taxable. How do I file my income tax return? There are different options to file a return. The most common option is hiring a tax preparer. That's a person that can assist you in filing a return. You can also do it yourself, either manually by downloading the forms on irs.gov. You can do it online for free through different filing programs, or you can also buy software to submit your return electronically. There are also places called VITA, Volunteer Income Tax Systems. You can go to the IRS website and search VITA locator, and you can put your zip code and see where you can find a VITA center near you. They can assist you in filing your return for free. Self-employed independent contractors. Self-employed are individuals who do not receive wages or salary from an employer, usually people that have their own business. Self-employed individuals generally have their own business or work for someone else as an independent contractor and receive a Form 1099. Self-employed individuals are not employees and do not receive benefits. In addition, self-employed individuals do not get taxes withheld from their checks. So they have to pay the taxes associated with the income on their return. Beware of the tax preparer. There are many cases in which tax preparers commit fraud, and the person does not find out until after the IRS notifies the person. Dependents and credits. A dependent is a person for whom you provided more than 50% of their total support during the calendar year you live with. Credits may be based on income, family status, work status, or other factors. Often, such credits are refundable when total credits exceed tax liability. That means that if you have certain tax to pay and you still have credits left, you may receive that credit as refundable after the tax liability has been satisfied. Divorced and non-custodial, separated, or never married parents. It depends on the filing status. There are different filing statuses, which are single, married, married filing jointly, or head of household. It depends on whether you're considered unmarried or married on the last day of your tax year. If you file jointly, each spouse is responsible for the entire tax liability, even if only one spouse had income. Caution: if you had your spouse file a joint return, filing another return for the same tax period by either you or your spouse may cause a delayed or a reduced refund. Claiming your child as a dependent. The parent who has custody of the child for the greater part of the year, the custodial parent, is the parent that is allowed to claim the exemption for the child. That was before 2017. Special rules for divorced or separated parents or parents who live apart for the last 6 months of the calendar year may apply. The non-custodial parent may claim the dependency exception for a child if the custodial parent releases the exemption. There is a form 8332 that the custodial parent can sign authorizing the non-custodial parent to claim the child. Also, the non-custodial parent may claim the child tax credit if the other requirements for the child tax credit is met. Earned income credit. Non-custodial parent may not claim a child as a qualifying child for earned income credit based on the custodial parent's released of the claim to exemption for the child. The custodial parent are divorced or legally separated under a decree of divorce or separate maintenance. The child received over half of his or her support for the year from the custodial parent. The child is in the custody of the parent for more than half of the year. Relief from joint liability. If you file a joint return and you're no longer with that person that you filed a joint return, you may be able to apply for innocent spouse. It can relieve you of the joint responsibility for paying tax, interest, and penalties if your spouse or ex-spouse improperly reported items or omitted items on your return. What is the Low Income Taxpayer Clinic? It is a federal income tax controversy resolution assistance program that represents low-income taxpayers involved in tax disputes with the IRS. The clinic also provides education on tax rights and responsibilities to taxpayers. These clinics provide an important resource to taxpayers who may not be able to afford a tax professional. All our services are free to income-eligible clients. What we do, we help taxpayers resolve individual income tax disputes with the Internal Revenue Service. We assist in preparing prior year tax returns for non-filer taxpayers. We help you find solutions to your tax debt, fill out applications for individual taxpayer identification number, assist the taxpayer to analyze and respond to IRS examination or audit letters, resolve refund disputes, clear up identity theft tax issues, resolve tax collection issues involving a lien or levy, underreported income, innocent or injured spouse claims, appeals and representation in federal court on your tax matter, or any other federal income tax issue. We also educate the community by conducting outreach and providing classes to English as a second language taxpayers to inform them of their tax rights and responsibilities. Requirements to qualify for assistance. The taxpayer must be a resident of Collier County. The taxpayer must be within 250% of the federal poverty guidelines for income. There must be a tax controversy with the IRS. The amount in controversy must not exceed $50,000 for any taxable year. Where to find us? We are located at 4436 Tamiami Trail East, Naples, Florida. And we also have an office in Immokalee. The address is 1400 North 15th Street, Suite 201. You can also reach me by email at mcardona@legalaid.org, or you can call me directly to my number, which is 954-736-2477. I look forward to talking to you if you have any questions about tax issues with the IRS. Thank you for listening.